The LeBron to Spurs rumors still persist. How about those Summer Spurs? And let's talk some fan comments. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. Pick a platform. We are there. Spurs in Focus Substack. It is completely free. Go sign up right now. Yeah, no charge. You just go to the Spurs in Focus Substack, hit subscribe. You are in. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. And thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. You want to come here every day, every time, every moment. You want to catch up on the latest and greatest with your silver and black. What are we talking about today? We're going to get to the Summer Spurs. What are they looking like so far through early summer league play? They're out there in Cali right now at the California Classic. We got some fan comments. And, of course, we're going to be talking about that LeBron James Spurs rumor. I know there's other rumors out there, reports, oh, Spurs are not interested. But when you have his freaking agent, Rich Paul, putting up a freaking whiteboard, and there you go. These are the teams we're interested in. There's the Spurs off to the side. Are they still in play? We're going to be discussing that because, well, technically the Spurs do have some cash to make things happen. All that and more. Just going to bring in our guest, Mr. Rudy Campos, the Sports Answer. He is on X at the Sports Answer and proud owner of a new Spurs cap. I heard a little birdie tell me you got a nice Spurs cap now into your edition.
Yeah, I should have grabbed it before the recording, but yeah, from shout out to Sprite giving us a Spurs cap.
Yeah. I had an extra cap laying around in the Sprite. The soda company, they sent me this care package. It's out of the blue, Rudy. And in a duffel bag, there were a bunch of goodies in there, like the duffel bag, and then there was a Sprite cap. Well, I'm not a fan of like those trucker looking style hats, like they shaped that way. So I met up with Rudy at a con this weekend, and I said, Rudy, here you go. Happy birthday. You can take it. Your daughter loved it though.
Oh yeah, she loved it. She really liked it, and I mean, she likes everything pretty much she gets. I mean, she's a kid. That's the way she is, I guess.
It was free too. Rudy liked that as well. He definitely liked that. We're going to be bragging about the Sports Answer later on in this episode. He has a lot going on his plate, but he'll break it down for you guys in just a few minutes. Let's go and dive into it here, Rudy. And look, first of all, full disclaimer. And I know there's going to be that one commenter or two that's going to put, y'all guys are talking about old news now. We understand it, all right? There is well, first of all, if LeBron James signs with a team at the time we're listening to this show, just keep in mind we recorded this before that announcement, okay? Keep that in mind. But recently, his agent, Rich Paul, was a guest on a podcast called Game Over. In that podcast / video show, he revealed a whiteboard. And with all the teams that are still in play for James's service, I mean, you have to use it, but I mean, the Knicks were on there. You had the usual suspects right now, which is, I think the Cavs are on there. And then you kind of look deeper in that whiteboard and you see the Spurs off to the right. Yeah. That's agent revealing the whiteboard that saying these are the teams that are still in play, and your Spurs were on there. The Warriors are on there. That is the odds-on favorite. But if LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, is saying, look, the Spurs are still out in that hunt. Ultimately, the agent not going to have the final say, the team, the Spurs. But Rudy, LeBron said it's not about the money anymore. LeBron said that he's willing to go to a title contending team. This rumor is still persisting. Do you think this is more just much to do about nothing, or were there smoke there?
It's tough to say because with LeBron saying that he wouldn't mind taking sort of a pay cut, it's not about the money. He wants to go to a title contending team. There's literally a handful of teams that are actually title contenders. You're talking San Antonio, OKC. Obviously, the Knicks are just coming off of a title win. Boston is another one that you could probably look at. There's about a handful of teams out there that are definitely title contending teams. So I would truthfully say that there's a little bit of, sparks to this. And I know you saw Rich Paul have that whiteboard up where he's got a bunch of teams listed that are probably favored to get LeBron James. But with the signing of Tobias Harris and then bringing back Harrison Barnes, which Harrison Barnes doesn't really count against the cap, but using that mid-level exception on Tobias Harris, I would say that it's probably more than likely that he's not going to be coming to San Antonio. Where I will say this much: if you potentially see the Spurs make a trade similar to what the Lakers did in Utah, where they send a player out and don't get anybody back in
Hmm.
return, then I would probably start to figure something's going to happen.
Hmm.
With the current team currently constructed, I mean, you're talking about Keldon Johnson, the last show that we did, where he would get pushed down even further on the bench. So, I mean, I think to put it this way, I think it's probably true. I think the rumors are true that he will come to San Antonio because he wants a chance to win, and San Antonio gives him probably one of the best chances to win. But I think they would have to clear some cap space somewhere, and you're probably looking at a guy like Keldon Johnson. If he gets moved, then I would say more than likely something is cooking with the Spurs.
Yeah, I still think it's a pipe dream. I just don't see it happening. Rich Paul can write Spurs 100 times on that whiteboard. It doesn't mean he's going to
Mhm,
come to San Antonio. So there's that. But I do find it interesting, at least from their point of view, again, LeBron's camp, that the Spurs are a viable destination. And I get it.
mhm.
You got a Victor there. You got the Spurs coming off an NBA Finals run. They are the hot young team that is on the rise in the West. And again, if it's not about the money, the Spurs definitely can't offer him a deal. I'm going to show you some stats or slash salary cap overview in just a few seconds.
Yeah.
But do you still feel that this team still should center on its young core versus bringing in an established, aged veteran that possibly could disrupt that? Because when LeBron James is on there, you're not going to make him come off the bench, are you? You're going to have him
Mm.
start. I just think there could be too many disruptions. Your thoughts?
Considering he's probably going to do a documentary, according to
Yeah,
this,
there's that.
this
Yeah.
being his last year, that's a big distraction. It depends on how you look at it, Jeff. The documentary part, it's a big distraction, but also, I mean, it puts San Antonio, especially the Spurs, in a different limelight. You kind of
Mhm.
get that global eye on you, and it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't know. But when you're looking at the young guys, I mean, I'm not opposed to seeing LeBron, maybe for a year with San Antonio. Again, you got a young group of guys that could learn from LeBron James, who's been there. Obviously, what he's got 5 titles or four
Mhm.
titles, 4 or 5 titles already. So, I mean, you can learn a lot. Does he make a difference? Obviously, he does. I mean, who would not want the ball in the fourth quarter? You would probably want a guy like LeBron
Oh,
James during
yeah.
that finals run. So, there's a lot of positives, but when if there's 10 teams available, the Spurs are probably the ninth or 10th team on that list. I
Yeah.
mean, OKC is probably the 10th team. They're probably not looking to add a guy like LeBron James, but wouldn't shock me if Sam Presti decided to come out and says,
Mhm.
"Hey, we've got LeBron. It's going to be a Thunder." Part of the OKC Thunder. But I think the Spurs are probably the bottom tier team when it comes to adding LeBron James. They got the guy that they wanted in Tobias Harris in the
Mhm.
offseason. So I don't think they're really looking to add LeBron unless LeBron is just really wanting to come to San Antonio. I think they would accommodate him and they may not have to give up anybody. I mean, they may just give him, actually a cheaper veteran minimum type of contract if he's really serious about winning, where you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. But the it's about learning, it's about improving, and, I mean, if he says, "I wanna go to San Antonio," if you're the Spurs, Jeff, the front office, do you just say no to a player like LeBron James, even if it's for a
Oh,
year?
man.
I mean, eh, potentially one of the greatest players of all time wants to be a Spur to try to get another title. I mean, do you say no? It's hard to say no to that. I mean, because
It is.
you're getting a player like LeBron, and trust me, I'm not a LeBron fan, but
Yeah.
I understand what he brings to the game. I understand, the greatness that he does have on the court. So, I mean, it's hard to tell him no if he wants to come.
Yeah, look, DraftKings, their latest odds where James will land next, they get the Cavs as a plus 130. Right
That's
next
my
to
pick.
them is at a plus 150 going to the Warriors. And then it's just a dramatic drop off. Then it's plus 600 to go to the Miami Heat. Your Spurs are now a plus 2,500. So
Mhm,
Vegas really believes that the Spurs are not going to be in contention
mhm,
ultimately. But what just threw a wrench in all this, everybody, was again, you have the agent putting the Spurs name on a whiteboard on the list of teams that the Spurs, I'm sorry, that LeBron's could land with. And again, your silver and black are there. Now we're talking about the money. Again, James reportedly in their camp said like it's not about the money anymore. It's about
Yeah.
getting a title, being part of a title win. So let's look at the Spurs cap situation, Rudy. This is via third apron there. As you could tell, the Spurs definitely can offer him a deal. They're not, I mean, they're flirting with the luxury tax, but they're not quite there yet.
Mhm.
First apron is still further away. They do have a biannual exception of 1.5, I mean 5.5 million, excuse me. Rudy, seeing your screen right now, Spurs financially can make it happen if it's not about the money. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and that's what I said. I mean, if you're able to get him at a cheap rate and it's really not about the money, and he says, "Hey, I do want to go to San Antonio," do you relatively say no? I mean, it's a tough decision. You've got the money. It's not going to kill you. What's the worst that could be is maybe David Jones Garcia is
Yeah.
not on the active roster another year. I mean, yeah, they have. I mean, they're not bringing back Olenek. They're not bringing back Plumlee. So you got two guys there. I don't know if they're bringing back Biombo.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
mean,
either. Yeah.
those three guys that were part of your roster, those are potentially two spots open out of the three. I mean, you're gonna
Mhm.
have to figure Quaintance may not play this year. You're probably gonna add Terrace Reed to give him a spot. So maybe you have two spots left. Why? I mean, if he comes for that 5.5 million where it puts you right at that luxury tax, Jeff, then do you say no? I mean, it doesn't kill your tax, like it doesn't kill
Mhm.
your salary cap. It makes you better. And say he comes on that 5.5, 5.4 deal, you have to write him in as the number one team
Yeah.
for a championship this year with the Spurs. I mean, they take off the negativity of LeBron. Take that off. Take that hat off. Take all that off.
Yeah.
If he was to come to San Antonio, I mean, do you pretty much guarantee that whatever happened last year wouldn't happen again?
I
The
think you
collapse?
minimize it. Yeah. Because I don't know. Is LeBron at this stage of his career is somebody to give the ball to and he can create and get a shot and
Did it
make things
against the
happen?
Rockets.
Did he wrong? Yeah, he still. I mean, last year he had an incredible season statistically. It wasn't not bad, not
Yeah.
bad at all. He put up some numbers with the Lakers last year, but for me, it's just about the chemistry. You know, not necessarily. I'm not saying that LeBron's going to come and just disrupt all that. No, I think he would know that he's not the first fiddle. It's Wimby,
Yep.
but does he understand that he's maybe not even the second fiddle or the third fiddle? That's the thing. I think with the magnitude of a personality and the legacy that LeBron has coming to the Spurs, that's just a lot of weight right now. And you got to think about that. Where the minutes going to come from? You know, does he start? Does he not start?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
good problem to have. I mean,
right. It's a great problem to have.
if you have
It's just about that.
that much potential, like that much talent, that's an awesome problem to have.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the media circus, the documentary. I mean, the Spurs will be must see TV. You can't tell me they'll probably be on TV every freaking night.
Oh yeah.
Um, there's that. So I mean, there's some pros and cons, but for me, if I balance them out, I think there's more cons than pros. Again, Vegas doesn't have the Spurs with good odds at all.
Yeah.
25 plus 2,500. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to happen. But why do you think Paul would put the Spurs name out there? It's just leverage. Is that all it is? Like,
I think
hey,
well,
other
no.
team in the West, we have the Spurs on our radar. You better do something.
No, I think what it is, it just came down to teams that he felt were capable of winning a title. I mean, let's be real. This may be LeBron's last year, especially with him announcing maybe a documentary happening.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the last dance. This is probably going to be his last year. So why not list every team on a board that has an opportunity to win an NBA title this year? And, you know, Spurs coming off of an overachieving season, getting into the NBA
Mhm.
finals, he's going to pencil them in as a team for LeBron to go to. There's no doubt about that. And I mean, I see where there's more cons to it. And you mentioned earlier, like, is he okay with being a second fiddle? I mean, Jeff, can we do an entire Spurs in Focus show asking the question, is Wimby even the first option on the
Yeah.
Spurs team? I
Well,
mean,
that's on down the road, man. We got to talk
yeah,
about that.
we don't even know if Wimby's the first option. And again, you're talking about a guy that's an MVP candidate year in and year out so far, and you're questioning whether he can be the first guy. So I
Mhm.
think if LeBron comes, it's not so much he'd be the first, second, third guy. He's that guy you need in the fourth quarter when you got to trust somebody with the ball. I mean, De'Aaron Fox had some struggles in the postseason. He had some major struggles in the finals. I would probably put De'Aaron off the ball and have LeBron run the point, something that he's been able to do towards the twilight of his career. So there's a big, I think where you have more cons than pros, I actually have probably slightly more pros than cons.
Mhm. Ultimately, does he land in San Antonio? Because I say no.
No, I don't think so. Right now, I have it between Golden State and Cleveland, kind of agreeing with Vegas there. If there's an outside team out there, I'm gonna just put it out there. If there's an outside team, it's probably gonna be like the Boston Celtics. I
Yeah.
mean, that I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there you have it. We're just bringing this up because, again, when Rich Paul puts the Spurs on a whiteboard, you got to talk about it. Is he signaling that the Spurs are in play, or is he using the Spurs as leverage versus the other West teams that were on that board? But what do y'all think about this? Is it much to do about nothing? No way, stay away, LeBron, or no Spurs, go get LeBron. We showed you a little while ago, the Spurs can't afford him. If he's all about not taking a big, payday, the Spurs can do that. What do you think? Let Rudy know on X at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, the Summer Spurs are in play. We're going to give our quick thoughts, what we're seeing so far from the rookies, anybody else standing out. And Rudy might have a guy that is not one of the three rookies that are playing right now. All that and more right here on Spurs in Focus.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
Got Matt Murdock bringing us back from the break. Everybody, welcome back to Spurs in Focus right here on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. Go subscribe right now. YouTube especially, man. Go subscribe to YouTube, Spurs in Focus. Go find us. Let's talk about the Summer Spurs. They're in action. They started off the California Classic. So again, let's know the preface, okay? We know it's just 2 games already, right? Small sample size. I get it. But in the first game, Rudy, the Summer Spurs lost to the Miami Heat 88-87. Again, don't jump off a cliff. It's not about wins and losses in Summer League. It's just about how do these guys look. So let's look at the first game here again against the Spurs and Heat. And the rookies, the 3 main ones, that being Terrence Reed Jr., Maliq Brown, and Gillespie, all scored 10 points each.
Mm-hmm.
But my goodness, Gillespie went 3 for 17 from the field in game 1 out in California, while Terrence Reed Jr. went 3 for 10. Rudy, is the situation that we have to understand that these rookies are really not known for their offense coming into the NBA.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not for Gillespie. Gillespie for sure. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Gillespie was known for being an offensive guy over in Tennessee. And, but as far as the other guys, Terrence Reed, definitely not an offensive guy. To me, he looked a little lost out there.
Yeah, he looked a little like hesitant,
didn't really want to make a mistake, just kind of looked a little lost. Second half, he played a little bit better. I liked what I saw, but still, I understand it's a rookie. It's game 1. I mean, really,
yeah.
I don't put too much credit into it until they get to Vegas, and then you see a little bit more competition in the Las Vegas Summer League. So just getting their feet wet. Gillespie, again, just he's a guy that, can put up a lot of shots, and when he gets hot and he gets going, he can actually knock him down, and he's a good scorer. But being, again, that he's undersized, I would like to have seen him try to run the point a little bit more, try to develop those point guard skills. Because as a scorer, Jeff, he's really undersized. It's going to be tough for him, and he's struggling to score in the summer right now. But again, we're going to take a look how he looks in Summer League in Vegas. And I'll be honest, I mean, Maliq Brown, I was actually shocked. I did not know he had that offensive prowess to him.
Yeah.
Knocking down a few 3-pointers. He looked really fluid in the offense. So of the 3 guys, I really liked what I saw out of Maliq Brown. Defensively, he's everything that you could have wanted out of a defensive player. So I fully expect Maliq Brown to get better. He's going to probably be in Austin this year. But again, the promise of Maliq Brown looks a lot like I mean, defensively great. Offensively, I'm just like, wow, I didn't think he had it in him like that.
Right. He absolutely was not coming to NBA known for scoring punch. That it was even during the broadcast. The broadcasters were saying like, oh, we didn't know he had this in him offensively. Seriously, they were reacting that way. No joke. And I was too, sitting down and watching the game. I was like, oh, I didn't know he could do all this
Yeah.
offensively. Defensively, we know he can do that. But again, you look at that first game here. I'll pull it up here for your Summer Spurs. We had again Brown scoring in 10 points. He did that in 22 minutes. He went 4 for 7 from the field in game one. Even hit a couple of threes.
Yeah.
A couple of threes. Interesting. It had 3 rebounds. So again, for me, of the 3 main rookies, he stood out a lot in game one. But you were texting me during the game. You said there was another guy that caught your eye.
Yeah, one guy I talked to you about heading into the summer league was RJ Davis out of North Carolina. I said once he gets going, he can really shoot the rock. He can really become a scorer. I think he finished the game with 15 points. I mean, he's the type of guy that when I mentioned to you, he's one of those guys that can come in, can score at a quick pace, at a fast pace. He's going to be an Austin guy if he ends up signing with the Spurs. Probably maybe a couple of years in Austin. So you guys that are always watching like David Jones Garcia, how he can come in, he can score. I figure RJ could be on that same type of development. And as we're talking now, the second game just got done. RJ had 2 points in this game, but again, the entire Spurs team struggled. So
Terribly.
yeah, it's just summer league and it's just starting. But keep an eye on RJ Davis and also Miles Kelly. He's a guy that he's played in Austin already, so he knows the Spurs system. That's a guy that the Spurs are going to really look at, and he may even be active roster in the next couple of years. But yeah, keep an eye out for rookie RJ Davis out of North Carolina. I expect him to really put up some numbers in the Vegas Summer League.
Yeah, and in the second game against the Golden State Warriors, the Spurs lost 98-69. Yeah, they got smoked. Terrence Reed Jr. did not play in that game. And by the way, in case you're wondering, Carter Bryant, he has not played a Summer League game at all.
Vegas is when he'll play.
Yeah, they're saving him for Vegas, absolutely. But in the game, at least for the main rookies that played, that'd be Maliq Brown and Jacoby Gillespie. Maliq Brown in game 2, 23 minutes, 2 points, 1 for 2 shooting from the field, missed his 1 3-point shot. He was a minus 17, while Jacoby Gillespie in 22 minutes, 9 points, 4 for 12, 1 for 4 from the 3 line, a minus 16. He's been a little disappointing so far because his offense hasn't got him going. I really thought he was a good insurance policy for the Spurs. I mean, again, I know it just started. We'll see how he progresses. But at least the first 2 games, I've been kind of down on him offensively. Your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Coming into the league, you're basically just a one shot type of guy, and that's going to be the offensive shot. Like I said, I wanted to maybe see him develop, and hopefully he can in Vegas develop more point guard skills, a lot of pick and roll, make some better passes. Maybe not look for your shot every single time you get the ball. Again, Corliss Williamson, the coach staff, they may want him to shoot, but I think what they need to do is get him to develop his point guard skills. And actually, we'll see, because with Carter Bryant playing in Vegas, maybe that will open up a little bit more room for Gillespie. A lot of these guys know that Jacoby Gillespie is a scorer, and they may just be, playing him very, very tough, making it difficult for him to score. So maybe surrounded by another veteran type like Carter Bryant may open it up a little bit more for Gillespie. I'm not too sure, but the struggle is real with Jacoby, and that's why he was a second round guy. I mean, no, it's not a bad thing. Your scoring is big time in the NBA, but again, when you're undersized and you're considered a point guard, you've got to show more than just scoring prowess to make it in this league. And right now, just by him trying to score the ball, it's really not looking that good.
Yeah. I don't know why Reed Jr. did not play in game.
It was a coach's decision. I think
okay.
Yeah, it was just a coach's decision. He had planned to probably sit out already this league. Again, another guy they're just waiting for Vegas, Jeff. It's just a Vegas type thing for them.
Yeah, exactly. Now, look, again, your Summer Spurs are 0-2 so far out in Cali. Not a big deal. Do not start jumping off ledges and flipping tables. Again, this is not about wins and losses in the Summer League. It's about player development. It's a very small sample size, Rudy. Hard to really come to any conclusion right now. But of the main rookies that we've seen so far, Reed Jr., Brown, and Gillespie, for me, Brown is kind of standing out a little bit just because he had a good game 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brown is standing out. Great game 1. In game 2, I was able to catch a little bit of it. Looked relatively good still. I mean, they were playing a little bit physical against the Warriors, and again, just Maliq Brown's going to be a guy. I think if he starts next to Terrence Reed, Another big, it actually benefits him a little bit more, but him being the main big man out there, it looks a little tough on him. So again, out of all three rookies, I think Maliq Brown looks the best, and then I would probably go Jacoby Gillespie after that, and then Terrace Reed. To me, just Terrace Reed looked really confused, and I hope he gets a little bit better come Vegas time. But 0-2, Jeff, on the summer. I've been monitoring. I haven't seen the trade De'Aaron Fox's chance yet because they're 0-2. But if they go 0-3 or don't win a game in summer, we're going to be starting to hear the trade De'Aaron Fox and trade Stephon Castle chance because the Spurs are done if they don't win a summer game.
Yeah, exactly. And well, again, just 2 games in, they have a third game out in California before the big summer league event starts. Hey, before we look at some Spurs and Focus fan comments, we need to know what y'all think so far about your summer Spurs. Let us know on X. I am at Jeff G Spurs on. He is on X at The Sports Answer. More on that later. All right, it's time for some fan comments. Woo! It may be the summer, maybe the offseason, but you guys are definitely talking about the silver and black. Let's start off with I guess probably was a shout out to one of the legendary sportscasters in San Antonio from Dan Cook. I think he was like DANCK 1990. I'm reaching there, but if that's what it is, good handle. This is from at DANCK 1990. This is in regards to the report about LeBron James and the Spurs and the whiteboard and all that. He says, quote, "No, we don't want him and his bacteria of an agent that will infect the entire organization. Let him make a super team with Jaylen Brown or Paul George with their new team." So there you have it, a strong reaction. You think that's what it could be if, let's just say, they buck the Vegas odds and he's a Spur. You think that type of presence, LeBron James, Rich Paul, and all that, is a bacteria that's going to infect the Spurs, Rudy?
What I love about fan comments is that they talk the talk, and then when LeBron James signs with the Spurs, everyone's going to be, "Oh my God, we are title contenders. We're going to be great." LeBron James is going to, because the same people are going to say that. So, again, the Spurs are probably the least likeliest team to get LeBron James. But if he does come to San Antonio, there's not going to be an issue. The Spurs don't tend to bring guys in, and it's really rare that they bring guys in off of free agency without doing their due diligence and while seeing that they're not, have any issues or anything like that. I mean, he's not going to go full Josh Primo or anything. So you don't have to worry about that when it comes to LeBron James. But the bacteria and, which Paul and all that stuff, that's kind of going overboard, I think, on that stuff. Again, it goes back, Jeff. If you were able to sign LeBron James at a very cheap deal, say it doesn't work out, there's a team out there that you can definitely trade him to, and no harm, no foul. I mean, that's exactly, or you can cut him. It's if he signs for $5 million, you're out $5 million for a year. I mean, I don't see a lose in that situation at all. So, it's not going to happen. Let's be real. It's not going to happen. If it does, then by all means, guys, shoot me a number or shoot me a comment on X, because I'm completely wrong, then.
Yeah, well, you Rudy usually gets negative comments on the YouTube side of things. He actually got a positive comment.
Always. I don't know why.
Yeah, he did. I'm being serious. I'm not pumping up Rudy here. This is from at Roel Gloricio 7719. He says Rudy Campos was spot on regarding Harris. Look at that, Rudy. You got yourself a nice shiny gold star there. Yeah, nice. Well, speaking of Harris, this brings us to our next point here.
Okay.
There was a report via Mark Stein that reportedly the Spurs were in play for Rui Hachimura. That was what they were leaning towards. But the report then goes on the moment that Tobias Harris, the Pistons thing, they couldn't get things going for him to return to Detroit. The Spurs reportedly went in fast, scooped Tobias out, and brought him to San Antonio. My first reaction when that report came out was like, obviously Tobias was their number one target. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And they got the guy. But there's some fans here on Spurs in Focus that, are kind of saying that maybe Rui wasn't the right pick if they went that direction. So we have a comment here. This is from, let me pull it up here. Here we go. This is from at Stephen M-E4I. He says, quote, I've seen Rui play, and he's so bad on defensive rotation and assignments for someone that good offensively. Makes sense we went with Harris. So this Spurs in Focus fan is saying, thumbs up, you picked the right one. Rui is just not all that. Your thoughts?
To a point, I agree with them. I mean, Rui he's a liability on defense. Not saying Tobias Harris is, the all-time greatest defender in the league, but Tobias does play really good. He does play really good defense. Also, Rui's not much of a rebounder. I think he's been averaging less than 5 rebounds a game,
Right.
almost close to like 4 rebounds a game the last couple of years. So, I'd like the Tobias Harris signing a little bit more. You get more offensively, just besides a 3-point shot from Rui Hachimura, like he has. You get more active on the boards. Tobias Harris can get to the basket a little bit more. I think Tobias's defense is probably better than Rui Hachimura. So when the Spurs found out that Tobias was available, I'm kind of glad they went in and got him. Don't get me wrong, the possibility of Rui signing with San Antonio is still there. I mean, he's still a free agent. So the possibility that they could go out and get Rui Hachimura is still viable, but I don't disagree with the fan. I like what the fan says. You're getting more from Tobias Harris than you are out of Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it feels like now that the dust has settled. Most, not all, but most fans are saying, you know what, Tobias is not going to be that bad. Sure, he's up there, age 30 plus years, and been there, done that, a lot of battle scars. But it feels like the tide is shifting, and most Spurs fans are now a little bit more accepting of the Harris pickup and signing. I think he will pay dividends down the road this upcoming season, whether it be in tight situations, playoff series, perhaps another, hopefully knock on wood doesn't happen, but if there's another debacle, the Spurs blow a massive lead, I think you have a guy there that can steady the ship. But again, I go back to that. Shouldn't that also be coming from a guy like, De'Aaron Fox,
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama? Those guys should also right the ship.
Well, that's you hit it clearly on the head. I'm gonna cut you off. You hit it clearly on the head. Everybody points to De'Aaron Fox, but I mean, where was Victor during those
Yeah.
moments? Where was, Stephon Castle during those moments? You were led by Dylan Harper, who was a rookie in a lot of these games. And if not for Dylan, the chances of the Spurs getting beat even worse were
Yeah,
there.
been bad,
So,
yeah.
so I mean, that's where it sucks. I'm not, again, I mean, we got called out on our last live show about we always defend De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Not always defending him, but as bad as he played, where were the other guys that had to step up?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Victor, like Stephon Castle. I mean, a lot of these guys that were top guys and your top 2 guys, in some cases didn't show up and had bad games as well, or just couldn't knock the ball down, got some turnovers. That's where Tobias Harris comes in. So if you're on the court with De'Aaron Fox, Stephon, Tobias Harris, and Victor, at least you have 2 guys with Tobias Harris and
Sure.
De'Aaron Fox, 2 longtime veterans that, De'Aaron doesn't have been battle tested, but Tobias has. He's been in a pretty good amount of playoffs games. So
Oh, yeah.
I think that feels a lot better than having just one guy and saying, well, you're the
Yeah.
veteran. You should be the one to be able to right the ship. I can't put that all on De'Aaron for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I know De'Aaron's getting the bulk of the fingers pointed at him because, we saw, why don't you dribble the clock out? You went for a score, and then OG got the block, and we all know what happened. So we're not going to rehash it. But it was just, I think what happened was you had the spotlight was on him, in the NBA finals, and
Yeah. It's a bigger
all
stage.
the
Everybody
bigger
sees.
stage, the co-star label, one of the few that had some playoff experience. Although y'all remember, De'Aaron Fox only played 4 playoff games, I believe. Or at least at one series. Let's put it that way. He played one.
Played one series. That was it.
That's it. That was his playoff experience. So he wasn't completely, a fish out of water. He was still maybe had the fins and the flaps and the fish eyes still in the water still. But no. But as far as the Rui thing is going, I'm still thinking that maybe the Spurs should have gone with Rui Hachimura. But as the dust settles, I'm seeing perhaps Harris can bring more value in even like non-stat sheet stuff. I'd say Rui couldn't, but I think there's something to say about the experience, the leadership. Hey, what were y'all saying, Spurs fans, during that debacle in New York and throughout the playoffs, and especially in the finals? Man, the Spurs need more veteran presence out there. They were just too young. They're a bunch of men are beating them. That's what it was. Well, you got it. You got it addressed via Tobias Harris. But yeah,
Experience beat out youth in the NBA.
Yeah,
Finals.
exactly. Hey, you know what? We're gonna start putting this show. We're gonna go to Bo in just a few seconds here, but we appreciate y'all leaving fan comments. Keep it going. Y'all gonna keep us going throughout this long off season. What do y'all think about the Summer Spurs? You buying those LeBron rumors? Well, at least what his agent said on a whiteboard. And again, disclaimer: if you're watching this and LeBron already announced where he's going to, just remember this was recorded. Okay, so don't. And I get those comments. You guys talked about Tobias Harris, but he already signed. I understand that. So again, everybody, full disclaimer: we're recording this before LeBron made any announcements. Keep that in mind. But hey, at least it kind of shows that the Spurs are now kind of a destination spot. Yeah, freaking LeBron James, whiteboard, his agent, saying Spurs are still in play. But what do y'all think about that? Let us know. And yeah, so many things are going on with Silver Black. We got you covered. Rudy, what is going on with the answer?
Yeah, so you can catch myself and Derek. I was gonna say Derek Anderson. He's gonna kill me for that. Derek Gervin. On the Sports Answer, we have the Friday Drive, and if we don't do the Friday Drive, we have the Thursday Night, the Light Edition. It's always live. It's always on Answer Now TV. So be sure to go to YouTube, search Answer Now TV, and yeah, catch us there. We're talking NBA basketball, San Antonio Spurs, NFL. The World Cup's going on, so we'll talk some World Cup stuff. Just a lot of good conversations, and you definitely want to check it out. That's Sports Answer on Answer Now TV.
Absolutely. Rudy and I will be back later this week for our weekly live show, as it usually happens on a Thursday. So be ready for that. Hopefully, we will talk about more Summer Spurs or any other rumors that popped up. So many things. Where we get to Rudy's topic that he wants to dive into: is Wemby the real number one? So we'll talk about that. It's down the road. That's a good one. That's a great one. Yeah, you're gonna get fans pissed off. You know that, right? What are you talking about, Rudy? You don't know ball.
I don't know ball. I mean, according to YouTube comments, where a lot of these people probably still live in mommy's basement. I don't know basketball.
By the way, heads up, everybody, or update, I should say. Rudy did pay off on his debt. He did pay off his debt.
I did.
He gave me the figure that we
I actually have it here. So you have your own version of It's Haro.
I got mine. He gave it to me over the weekend. So he paid up. He did not renege on the
on bets.
Not at all. He paid up. All right, Rudy, thank you so much for joining us here on Spurs in Focus. Be sure to follow him on X at the Sports Answer. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Unsubscribe to those other channels. No, you don't want to go there. You only want to come here to Spurs in Focus. It is your first and only spot for all things silver and black. Yes, come here every time you want to talk Spurs and so much more. I mean, we got a lot going on. Stick with us. Don't forget about the Spurs in Focus Substack. It is completely free. Go sign up right now. We'll be back on Wednesday. Yeah. Again, I'm chasing a guest right now. We'll see if he can have some time for Wednesday. If not, we'll definitely have something for you to enjoy in this offseason. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. Now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.